Cool guys. Okay, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through something called a classic daiquiri. So it's not the traditional daiquiri in a sense where South Africans are very used to frozen kind of blended cocktail with a lot of weird ingredients, I would say. So what I've done is I've taken it back to the roots of where daiquiri comes from, originally from Cuba. And today we're going to be using Bacardi, Superior Rum. We're going to be using fresh limes, because fresh is always best. We're going to be using some fresh strawberries, as well as some homemade sugar syrup. So the trick to making the sugar syrup, the reason we use it as well, is if you put fresh sugar into a glass, it doesn't react very well with the cold and doesn't mix into the drink as well as it should. So what we've done is we put equal parts of white sugar along with equal parts of water. We put that into a pot to make sure we just get that water kind of hot and make sure it's obviously heated up quite nicely. Get the sugar dissolved, take it off the stove, let it cool and pour it into a bottle. Very mixable, very easy to use. So the glass I'm going to use today, I know that we're used to kind of these long, tall cocktail glasses, but this is going to be a strange drink with no ice whatsoever. As I said, the classic daiquiri originally was just rum, fresh lime and sugar, and I've added some strawberries to that. So first thing we're going to start with, as every great bartender, you need your tools. So what we have here is a two-piece shaker. You will find shakers that have a smaller glass bit to it, as well as a steel tin on this side. I am going to be using two tins. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I use 2 to 3 strawberries. Once again, it does depend on the size of the strawberry. Obviously, we've got very small strawberries, use a few more. Very large strawberries, use one less. We're just going to remove the green bits in the back and we're going to put it straight into the shaker, and then we're going to use something called a muddler. So if you don't have a muddler at home, what you can do is you can use something like a rolling pin or anything that kind of is a bit weighted and has a nice end here just to push the strawberries down. So we're just going to push in, twist a little bit just to make sure that we're breaking up the strawberry correctly. What we want to do is, by breaking it up, is just to make sure that we can infuse that beautiful strawberry flavor into the drink. Okay, so I've given it a light muddle. As I said, Bacardi Superior, we're going to be using a double shot, which is 50 ml of spirit. We have something here called a jigger, which is the bartender's best friend. This side is a single shot, 25 ml. This side is a double shot, 50 ml. So, make sure we fill it all the way to the top. Pull that in. Okay, next thing we're going to do, I'm all about fresh ingredients. So, we're going to make sure that we're using 25 ml of fresh lime juice. I have a very handy piece in my kit here, which is a lime squeezer. Can't do without this. So making sure that we put the lime in, just squeeze it at the top, and we want to get 25 ml of fresh lime juice out. I like to have my drinks a little bit more on the sour side. Once again, this is totally dependent on your palate. So if you want something a little bit more sour, add a bit more lime juice, a little bit more sweet, add a bit more sugar syrup to that. So we've got 25 ml lime juice right in there. Next thing, we want to make sure that we have the sweetness. So homemade sugar syrup, as explained earlier. We're going to use just 20 ml of this. So a little bit less sugar to lime. As I said, I like mine a little bit more on the sour side. Alright, so that's it. Just to recap, we literally had 2 or 3 large strawberries muddled inside, 50 ml of Bacardi Superior Rum, 25 ml of fresh lime juice, and 20 ml of sugar syrup. Ice, bartender's best friend, right over there. So we're going to get our shaker about 3/4 full. Take this side, make sure we put the liquid straight in there. Give a slight bash on top just to make sure that it's secure, and holding the shaker on either end to make sure it doesn't go flying everywhere. That's important, just like that. Okay, you want to give it a good shake for about 10 to 13 seconds. Just want to make sure with the shaking process as well that obviously it's beaten that strawberry properly and that those flavors are infused properly. The other thing that shaking does is of course add dilution to the drink, just to make sure the drink doesn't come out too strong and make sure it's tasting great. Alright, so strainer. This is something once again very essential when it comes to shaking and straining drinks. Just put in the top, finger sitting over there, and then we're going to use a fine strainer as well. So the initial strainer, what it does, it keeps the fruit bits and a bit of the ice up. This makes sure you get a very refined product. It's very smooth in texture. So as you can see, that beautiful strawberry color has come through there. And then I'm using a coupe glass for this. Coupe glass originally was called a Marie Antoinette glass, actually, and was shaped in the shape of a breast, funny enough. So that's what we have there. We have our classic daiquiri, and then the last thing we always do is just remember to garnish the drink. So I'm going to take one small Biblical strawberry, slide it to the top, add on the side. Every great bartender, we make sure we put a napkin down and serve our drink. And there you have a classic strawberry daiquiri. Enjoy.